Hi, and welcome to another episode of All Things Considered. Tonight I'm speaking to you on the Seattle City Council primary elections. The City of Seattle, Washington is holding elections for City Council districts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 on November 5th, 2019. A primary election is being held on August 6th of 2019. Incumbents in District 2, 4, 6, and 7 are not seeking re-election. Between 7 and 14 candidates filed to run for each of the 4 open seats. 3 incumbents are running for re-election. Lisa Herbold, District 1, faces 2 challengers in the primary. Kshama Sawant, District 3, and Deborah Juarez, District 5, each face 5. The elections are occurring a year after the repeal of the 2018 head tax proposal, which would have required businesses grossing at least $20 million to pay $275 per person in order to fund affordable housing programs for the homeless. The City Council voted to pass the head tax 9-0 in May of 2018, but then repealed it by a 7-2 vote in June of 2018 after running into opposition from city businesses like Amazon, making everybody think that they're going to get your money, that it's going to be taken out of your pay. If we have to pay it, you're going to get in trouble. Which was not the case because, well, it might have been because we all know that when a person gets a raise at a job, the employer is not going to eat the cost of that raise. They're going to up the cost of the product. Now, they've got a primary election happening today. Says here that Seattle politics stand at crossroads as voting revs up in Tuesday's primary, which is today. You're getting this a little bit late. Seattle politics stands at a crossroads. Wow. That is weird. Oh, it's asking me to log in. Hold on. Okay, here we go. I wasn't logged in, so I didn't think I had subscribed. Seattle politics stand at a crossroads as voting revs up in the Tuesday's primaries, which is today, August 6th. Voters trickled by ballot and candidates rushed to knock on doors Monday as Seattle geared up for a city council primary election that will help determine the trajectory of the local politics for the next 4 years. Businesses-backed candidates would curb advances by the council's left wing or candidates with ties to unions and socialist groups could make additional gains in a booming metropolis with a chasm between rich and poor. Mayor Jenny Durkin could add or lose allies. Neighborhood issues are playing a role in the first district races since Seattle moved to geographic representation in 2015, with some voters asking candidates about local streets and parks. The results also may demonstrate whether the city's taxpayer-funded democracy vouchers are a huge game changer for grassroots candidates or mostly money makers for political consultants. Meanwhile, Washington has adopted the same-day voter registration and launched a new statewide voter management system. As of noon Monday, about 20% of the active Seattle voters had returned their ballots. There have been no public polls on the council candidates this spring and summer to measure which of the winds they are blowing in. leaving many questions to be answered Tuesday night when initial tallies will be released. All 7 of the council's district seats are up for grabs, and there are 55 candidates, the most in a Seattle primary in modern history. I think big business want everything to go their way, and the citizens be damned. That's the way I see it, so that's the way it is. This is my video, and if you don't like it, you can leave. I'm just kidding. This is our video. You and me. I'm trying to bring some things that maybe you haven't thought about, or maybe you passed over it, and because maybe it's not important to you. I think this is very important, and I don't even live in Seattle right now. I live in Minneapolis, Minnesota, but Seattle's where my heart is, so I do the best I can to help Seattle in the best way I know how. All 7 city council seats are up for grabs. There are 55 candidates, the most in Seattle's primary in modern history. The top 2 vote getters in each race will advance to the November 5th general elections. Depositing ballots in a drop box outside Rainier Beach Community Center, voters cited housing costs and racial inequities as key challenges. Evelyn Shelby, 57, sought people who are vested in the diversity of the communities, and casting her lot with District 2 candidate Tammy Morales. Looming over the primary is the memory of turmoil at City Hall last year when the council passed a per-employee head tax on high-grossing businesses to fund homeless services and housing them, to repeal the head tax later under pressure from companies like Amazon and some voters. Now, Seattle wanted Amazon and other companies that are making $20 million a year or more to help out the city. And Amazon did not want to do that. Other companies did not want to do that because they made the employees get scared. People did not understand what the $275 per person head tax was going to be. The companies made the employees believe that when they're taxed that $275 per person or per employee, they were giving the impression that the city was expecting that to come out of each employee's paycheck, and that's not so. Shame on you, Amazon. You get the long finger of shame today because you lied and you bamboozled the public into believing the head tax was bad. Employees can't afford to be taking $275 a year out of their money. And let's face it, $275 a year per employee is chump change compared to what you make each year, Jeff Bezos. Looming over the primary is the turmoil of the head tax from last year. Then repealed the tax weeks later under pressure from companies like Amazon and some voters. You know what? If I was over the city council, if I was the mayor of Seattle, the first thing I would do is tell Amazon and other companies, take a fucking hike. We were doing great without you being here. We'll do great when you leave. You are not going to bully us around. We are the city council, hence we work for the city of Seattle. The citizens make up the city. If you don't want to play by our rules, you can pack up your shit and get out. That's what I'd tell them. 4 of 7 incumbents decided to wave goodbye rather than take their chances, leaving only 3 colleagues to battle critics who say the council stumbles on problems related to rapid growth. On rapid growth, I would put a big old sign that says Seattle is now closed. We do not have adequate housing. Please do not come here because you will be homeless. And the cost of living increases and the homeless. Well, there really is no cost of living increase per se. There is cost of living increasing because it's costing more to live now than it used to, and there's the homelessness problem. Seeking a council less likely to raise taxes on businesses and add regulations, the Seattle Metropolitan Chamber of Commerce and its allies hope to unseat 2 of the 3 remaining incumbents, Lisa Herbold in District 1 and Kshama Sawant in District 3. That will leave Deborah Juarez in District 5 as the only district-based council member still standing. The Chamber's PAC has spent more than $377,000 to support and oppose candidates, while a PAC with similar views called People for Seattle has spent more than $117,000, both urging votes for pragmatic progressives. And when they say pragmatic progressives, they mean people that are willing to play ball with big business, and they're going to be in the hip pocket of the big business. Just like Paul Giancana and family, the mobster out of Chicago that helped get John Kennedy elected, John F. Kennedy. Yes, they helped get John F. Kennedy and his brother elected to Attorney General and President, respectively. And Paul Giancana expected John F. Kennedy and his brother, once they got into office, to lay low on the mob, leave them alone, let them do their jobs. But what did they do? They went after the mob. They cracked down on the mob, and the mob was very angry. That's the way it's going to be. If you crack down on big business, you're going to have big business very angry at you. And why do you need Amazon there anyway? All it did was bring in 25,000 people outside of your city and outside of your state into a state and a city and just cluttered it up and gunked up the works. It says here, less lefty voters have called for a clean sweep. The Speak Out Seattle advocate group, which has opposed a head tax in the safe drug consumption sites, recommends challengers in all 3 races after drawing crowds to candidate forums. But unions, their allies in the Democratic Party groups, have rallied behind Herbold and Juarez, who may also benefit from paying closer attention than some of their colleagues to constituent issues in their districts. Some large unions have abandoned Sawant, yes, others have stood by the outspoken Socialist Council member, along with many social justice advocates. Speaking of Kshama Sawant, I don't see her as anybody more than just a bullhorn and a loud voice. I don't really understand what she's doing. There's going to be people that say, oh, she's doing a great job, just like people say, oh, Trump's doing a great job, but when you ask him what is his great job he's doing, he can't tell you nothing. Oh, okay, what about his health care plan? Oh, it's great. Well, what is it? Oh, well, it's great. Well, what's it about? Oh, it's the greatest thing going. But they can't tell you what's in the plan. They can't tell you how the plan operates. They can't even tell you how much the plan's going to cost because there is no plan. Just like Kshama Sawant pulling a bullhorn out there, I'm sure in the beginning she meant well, and I'm sure she felt like she was going to make a change and do good for the city. But just like Trump, was all talk and no substance. At a drop box outside of Seattle Central College, Ryan Crawford, 33, voted for Sawant to keep polling the city council more progressively left, while Quentin King, 57, chose Capitol Hill Chamber of Commerce leader Egan Orion to work with other council members to get things done. Yeah, but what things do you want to get done? I mean, really, what things? Herbold will most certainly advance alongside attorney Philip Tavel, Philip Tavel, Tavel. Juarez also is almost sure to clear the primary, perhaps accompanied by environmental consultant John Lombard or attorney Ann Davison Sattler. Sawant is likely to advance as well. Less clear is which challenger could join her. Egan Orion is supported by the Chamber, and Zachary DeWolf and Amy Nguyen, 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 by Democratic groups and unions. Logan Bowers was an early entrant, and older voters could boost Pat Murakami. Seattle's democracy vouchers, which voters assign to the candidates they like, have helped more candidates than usual run serious, viable campaigns. District 2's Bruce Harold and District 7's Sally Bagshaw, who's both declined to seek re-election, have aligned with Durkin on some issues, as did District 4's Rob Johnson before he resigned in April. District 6 departing Mike O'Brien has tended to team up with Sawant and Herbold. O'Brien, Sawant, and Herbold joined citywide council members Lorena Gonzalez and Teresa Masquade to champion a larger head tax last year, outnumbering the more leery Juarez, Harrell, Bagshaw, and Johnson. The open set races, which could alter the balance of power, have attracted larger numbers of candidates, making them unpredictable. District 2 contest has generated heat, with the mayor weighing in for chamber pick Mark Solomon against union-backed Morales. Chamber supported Alex Peterson, Labor Choice Emily Myers, and Democratic Socialist Sean Scott and Safe Street advocate Kathy Tuttle appeared to be contenders in District 4. Former council member Heidi Willis is the best-known name in District 6, while Jay Fahey and Dan Strauss have institutional endorsements. Melissa Hall, John Lisbon, and Sergio Garcia would make noise. Andrew Lewis and Jim Pugel could top a relatively conservative crop of District 7 candidates. It is unclear what influence environmentalist voters may wield. Seattle Sierra Club chapter spread its primary endorsements between socialist and chamber-backed candidates. The median age of Seattle voters who had returned their ballots as of Monday was 56, according to the Maple Leaf resident Glenn Pittenger, a professional data analyst who digs into local politics in his spare time. The median registered voter age is 43, Pittenger said, encouraging younger people to complete their ballots. Later on, I will find out exactly what happens in the primaries. Probably that information won't come out till later tonight, early in the morning. I will update this video for you because, let's face it, it's important, Seattle. Maybe the transplants don't seem as important, but it is. It is very important to the safety and security of Seattle. If you like my videos, please put a like and subscribe. I would like to also have you leave a comment if you have any ideas on what I'm doing. If you have any ideas about what I shouldn't be doing or what I should be doing, please put them in the comments below. If you didn't really understand what I said, please put a comment below and let me know, so maybe I can go over some talking points with you. This is very important, Seattle. Anyway, I'm going to let you go on that note. This has been All Things Considered. Have a good night, Seattle, and all points beyond.